customs and so on, and one on Northern Ireland. I'm joined by another arch Brexiteer, I hope she won't mind me calling her that. That's Labour's Kate Hoey. Now, Kate Hoey, you have put your name to the Lawrence Robertson Amendment, New Clause 37, on Northern Ireland. What's your new clause proposed, and why did you put it down?
Well, it's really to firm it up that we will not allow Northern Ireland to be treated differently from the rest of the United Kingdom. And of course, by Parliament supporting this, and it was supported by a former Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, the former chair of the Northern Ireland Affairs Committee, it had a lot of support, and it will mean that when the Prime Minister goes back to negotiate, and there was this idea that there could be a backstop, which would actually have meant a border down the Irish Sea, that this is will have Parliament's backing, and we want it into law. So I was very pleased that the Prime Minister accepted this, and I think I said anyone who voted against that tonight, if there is a division on it, it would really not be supporting the United Kingdom, what would be supporting either the Irish government or the European Union.
But you want to kill the backstop, presumably?
Yes, because the backstop is just not necessary. We've had some very good speeches tonight which point out clearly that there already is a border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic, and that this is because we have a different currency, there's different exchange, and all these things happen quite sensibly without people being stopped. If they are, it's because of intelligence. There's no reason why that can't continue. And I think tonight there was such good speeches pointing that all out that I hope the Prime Minister now realises that it was ridiculous to put the whole of the negotiations based on something that actually isn't important. Remember, the Irish government did support making changes to try and make this happen, but the new Taoiseach came in and decided, I think, to go with a more hard-line attitude, and it's being used politically. It's not about the issue. The issue can be settled with goodwill.
The Prime Minister looks very weak tonight, having caved in on these 4 amendments. Do you care if we end up with no deal, or are you like some of the Brexiteers who say there's nothing to fear from no deal?
Well, I think I don't like the term, walking away and sort of a cliff edge, because actually the rest of the world who aren't in the EU are in take WTO rules. Now, obviously, we would prefer a free trade arrangement with the European Union, and if the European Union had any sense, that's what they would want to have as well. The rest of the EU is changing so much, and they are just terrified of us doing well. And because they know that that will lead to other countries deciding that actually this whole idea of some kind of, almost Stalinist kind of organisation is not going to be the future.
Stalinists. I'm tempted to say, talking of Stalinists, the Labour front bench, what's Jeremy Corbyn's position as you understand it? Are you fed up that he's sitting on the fence on so much of this?
No, I think Jeremy is aware that the party in Parliament is split, and that there's a very substantial number of members of Parliament who would actually not want to leave the EU and would have been doing things to try and stop us leaving the EU. And I think he's played quite a reasonably clever role in trying to bring people together. And so on a lot of the amendments, he's been suggesting that we abstain. And ultimately, it's the governments doing the negotiations. And I think we collectively on the Labour side have to make sure that we're getting supportive where we need to be and opposing where it's wrong for the country. And let's not forget, people voted to leave, and that's what they want.
Very briefly, you're prepared, though, to vote against the government if it means defeating Theresa May, bringing the government down, bringing about a general election?
For me, it's not about defeating Theresa May or indeed even having a general election. It's about actually looking at this across party to support what the people decided. I was involved in the referendum campaign, and I saw all those decent people out there who just wanted to leave and are finding it incredibly difficult now to accept that there seem to be some people, having been told that we would accept the result, are now trying to thwart it. So it's not a question of about Theresa May, it's a question of getting the best deal, and it's a question of sticking to what people voted for.
You were high jump champion in Northern Ireland in 1966, I believe. Is Theresa May for the high jump now?
Oh, that's well, I'm not sure. Well, I did the straddle in Northern Ireland. They don't even have that now, so I'm not sure the high jump metaphor is relevant.
Okay. Well, thank you. There's plenty of straddling on the various benches, I think, in terms of policy here. Kate Hoey, thank you very much for joining us. Back to you, Jane.